radio. Hey there, it's February the 13th and it is World Radio Day, which is great because I work in radio, it's my day job. Not on the air, you won't find me presenting, but I work behind the scenes. It's just a shame this day falls on a Monday, because I don't work Mondays, I work Tuesdays to Saturdays. If it wasn't on a Monday, maybe I could have given you a tour around a professional radio studio for this video. But instead, I'm going to do my quick guide to British radio. Okay, we have a lot of stations in the UK, not as many as America, so I'm not going to get through them all. But here's a rough little sample of them, obviously starting with the BBC ones. You've got Radio 1 for the young'uns. Not that young. Actually, that one's probably a little bit older than their target audience. Yeah, that's pretty close. They play all the music that they think young people want to listen to. That's about 13 to 25. So sorry, 27-year-old, you're no longer young. I feel your pain. And they just hope that they won't go off and listen to it on Spotify or YouTube instead. Radio 2. Basically, just sounds like what Radio 1 used to sound like about 20 years ago. Because it's trying to attract those that were teenagers 10 or 20 years ago. Basically trying to attract me. It does a pretty good job. It's mostly personality led and you hear a lot from the presenters in between songs. You'll even get the occasional, very occasional, comedy, drama or documentary. If it's related to music usually. Radio 3. The radio station for people that want 20 minutes of uninterrupted classical music before the presenters pause afterwards and leave silence before back announcing the song in a very mellow tone. Radio 4. Speech radio station with a wide variety of types of programming, including radio drama. And not just the Archers. Please all people stop thinking all radio drama is like the Archers. Very little of it is. Most is actually quite hard-hitting contemporary drama. There's some science fiction in there, some comedy, some fantasy. There are adaptations of Neil Gaiman's work. The standard is really high on BBC radio drama. But it's not the only place to find it. You can find it on lots of download things and podcasts as well, so do check out any radio drama. If I sound a bit like I'm evangelising about radio drama, I did used to work in it. So yeah, I quite like it. Check it out. Oh yeah, and there's other stuff on Radio 4 as well, like comedy panel shows, current affairs, comedy science shows, witty banter, documentaries on almost every subject, magazine type shows, arts coverage, and interesting celebrity interviews. Probably the most varied radio station in the world. Definitely in the UK for the amount of types of programming it has on it. Radio 4 Extra. Basically a DAB repeat channel, airing old radio dramas, some over 50 years old, from when everybody spoke in a received pronunciation accent. Old chap. Radio 5 Live. Rolling news and, this just in, sports too. 5 Live Sports Extra. For those times when you want sport, you don't want to actually see it with your eyes. 6 Music, the channel that refused to die. For the hardcore music lovers, of which I'm not one. I mean, I like music, but honestly I couldn't tell you who was in most of the bands I quite like the music of. Couldn't tell you their lead singer, definitely couldn't tell you their guitarist or drummers. 6 Music is the channel for real music buffs, the people that really love their music, and it's made by people that love their music as well. The presenters really know their stuff. BBC tried to cut the channel a few years ago, but there was such a public outcry about it that not only did the BBC relent and keep it going, but it actually massively increased its listenership with the added PR. Moving away from BBC channels now, we've got LBC. Used to stand for London's Biggest Conversation. Then they went national and I have no idea what it stands for now. Could be anything really. Let's be cosmonauts, little big cardboard box. Any other suggestions, leave them below. And it's the channel of the phone-in where angry people vent. A lot. I think it's disgusting that we're forced to have square apples. What this country needs is to join the United Federation of Planets. We need closer unity with the Vulcans, not Vulcophobia. Careful now, down with this sort of thing. Almost every commercial music channel. And that's a song by a singer there. Do you know she once did a thing? You're listening to Commercial FM. We've got more songs by more singers coming up now after these words from our sponsors. Classic FM, the hip station for classic music fans, with lively presenters and more film scores. That's Jurassic Park. Community radio. run by volunteers, hyper-local, usually broadcasting to just one town. The passion of those involved is usually really inspiring, and you really have to give them credit for that. Quality does vary, but you know, there's some great stuff on there and it's well worth checking out, particularly this programme. I'm always plugging them on social media because I'm always bowled over by their professional standards and really interesting content. They are on the community radio station Siren FM, but they also released the show as a podcast. It's a pop culture review show, well worth checking out. Phew! There are of course lots more channels than that, but that's just a little rough guide to British radio. And don't forget to like and subscribe and all that jazz, and press the little bell button so you get all the notifications of when the latest video is posted. And while you're waiting for the latest video, as I know you will eagerly and looking for something to do, check out some of these radio stations. There's some great British radio out there. It's all well worth checking out. And they're all available online, so you can listen to any of them from anywhere in the world. Simple. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time. Bye.
It's 4 o'clock. I'm Phil, I'm 26, and I'm from Evesham. You might not know this, but people say I sound like Daniel Radcliffe. Anyway, now it's time for my favourite show on the radio, Scott Mills.
Scott Mills. This is BBC.